Begin the hour in Libya with this new confusion over whether the new unity government will take over. It appears as if the Tripoli government has backtracked on an early announcement that it will make way for the new one. The new government is meant to bring back stability to the troubled country. It's called on the central bank to freeze all assets apart from government salaries and called on all state institutions to use the new government logo. Libya has been in chaos since Muammar Gaddafi was ousted in 2011. The United Nations is especially concerned over the rapid rise of the Islamic State in Libya. Some nations are considering military intervention in Libya, but say that can only happen with the permission of the unity government. Libya's troubles saw most international diplomatic missions withdraw from the country. But on Monday, Tunisia said it would be reopening its mission in Tripoli. The UN envoy to Libya is meanwhile urging all parties to work towards political stability.
Tripoli must become again an international city where embassies reopen their embassies. This will take some time, it will not be tomorrow, but we all have to push together. I wish you peace, security in this fragile situation. Please transmit these messages of national reconciliation to everybody whom you meet in your constituencies.
Well, certainly the UN will be closely watching developments in Libya. Let's get you more on that story out of New York. CCTV's Liling Tan joins us live from the UN headquarters in the city. Liling, first off, the new UN-backed government has been conducting its affairs from a naval base in Tripoli. What's the UN doing to get that government to be installed in the official buildings?
Well, the UN has told me that this was one of the primary goals, the next step in this process to get the unity government in position to do its work. Now, Farhan Haq, the UN spokesperson, told me that the UN is working towards that, and its special envoy Martin Kobler, who is now in Tripoli, is trying to accomplish that, to get this unity government into the official building so they are in a good position to begin their official work. Now, there have been some developments and still a lot of moving parts, especially in the last few minutes. But up until within the past hour, the UN was encouraged by the developments, including the arrival of the Presidential Council into Libya nearly a week ago. And of course, we heard several hours ago that the Tripoli administration was ceding power to the unity government, although there's uncertainty about that right now. But up till that point, there was encouragement, and the UN did also acknowledge that a lot of work needed to be done, and that included getting the unity government into these official buildings, into the position to begin their work. But it seems all that has been thrown once again into disarray now that we're hearing that a certain faction within this Tripoli administration is now refusing to stand down.
Just how concerned is the UN over the rival militias in Tripoli?
Well, the UN is, of course, extremely concerned, especially given the latest developments. There's still a lot of confusion right now. The UN was encouraged following the ceding of power by the Tripoli administration, particularly because this administration is backed by militia, and it's hoping that it would encourage rival militias, rival factions to come to the table towards this unity plan for Libya. Now, it has said repeatedly that the UN's door remains open for these rival factions to step forward, to come together, to work towards Libya's peace so that it can better challenge its problems within its borders, but also the growing ISIL threat. But at this point, I'm sure the UN's position has become a little bit more concerned given this latest back and forth with that Tripoli administration.
And several nations say they will only intervene in Libya against ISIL should the unity government agree. So how likely is that agreement, and what sort of intervention can we expect?
Well, the intervention, operations by foreign actors, the possibility of that is there, given the rate of expansion that we're seeing from ISIL. The UN has acknowledged that ISIL is growing at an alarming rate there, and we do know that several foreign nations have already been conducting some operations in Libya. But these countries, among them UK, US and France, among them the United States has said that any larger scale operation would require the approval and support from the legitimate government. That would be the unity government. So the unity government has to be established and operational in order to either request or agree to a proposed intervention. Now, as long as the ISIL's presence continues to grow, intervention is likely. But from the UN's point of view, the UN is reluctant to comment or speculate on the possibility of foreign intervention, but it has maintained and it continues to maintain that any type of intervention by a foreign actor, regardless of whether it's humanitarian or military, must be done in close coordination with a legitimate government once it has been established and is operational.
All right, Lilington joining us from New York. Thank you.